Okay. So thank you everyone for getting on the call. I'm Michelle LaRoche, a National Marketing Director from Amesbury, Massachusetts, and we are so excited to have Tracey on our call. She's a brand new, I think she's a very solid 24 club, maybe 29 club National Marketing Director. And
27. Yeah.
27, very, very good. I mean, that's a really strong position. You know, you've come into National Marketing Director to very, very solid business. So congratulations. We're
Thank
excited.
you.
And the reason that we have you on the call is because Heather and Tracey are they're in the personal development program that the company has called the Brave Leaders Program. And they're in what we call a pod. So they have gotten to know each other, and Heather invited Tracey to speak, and Tracey graciously said yes. So we are super excited. And I'm just going to say a little bit about Tracey. She is a wellness coach, a personal trainer, and a group fitness instructor. She believes there is a path for everyone to become a stronger, healthier, and happier person. Her guiding principles are to pursue your passions, take some risks, have a sense of humor, and love yourself and others. So we are really excited. I'm going to turn it over to you, Tracey.
Okay.
And answer some questions.
Okay. All right. So I thought what I would do is just start by telling a little bit about my story and then answer some of your questions. And I wanted to thank you all for having me on. It's really an honor. And I see so many faces on here. I see Danielle. People that it's interesting. One of the things I love about this business is I remember going to my first conference. My first conference was when Ellie Shepley made it to National Marketing Director. And I thought, how does she know like all of these people? Like, I don't understand how she knows all of these people. And then I look now 2.5 years later, and I think I so many people I consider really close friends. It's one of the things I love most about the business. So thanks for having me on. So I'll just tell my product and business story really quick. I found out about Juice Plus about 2.5 years ago. I'm a runner as well as being a personal trainer and a coach. And I had about 6 months before that run my very first marathon, and I had completely overtrained. And so I realized I knew firsthand that I wasn't able to physically get the nutrition into my body that I needed because I was really trying. I was trying to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. My kids are now 16, 14, and 11. And I knew they were not getting enough fruits and vegetables, not any chance. So it made immediate sense to me. The Children's Health Study made immediate sense. And I'll tell you just a couple of things that I think are important in my story. I came into Pammy and Ellie Shepley's life because Pammy Shepley asked one of her clients, her customers in New York City, to share the flyer with anyone she thought might be interested. And so my friend Tamala shared the flyer with me. It was Paul Stricker that was coming into New York City. And I couldn't go, but I thought it sounded interesting. I thought it was juice. But I thought it sounded interesting. And so I reached out to Pammy, and she was really smart and said, well, why don't we grab coffee? And she and Ellie came and grabbed coffee with me. And I immediately bought the product, but then I left, and then I called Ellie a few days later and told her that I thought I should join the business. So I literally walked into the business. I didn't know Pammy or Ellie beforehand. And so that's just a side lesson. You never know who is out there waiting to hear what we have, because we didn't know each other. So that's just remember that when you feel you're getting discouraged, that somebody out there is waiting to hear what we have. So it made immediate sense to me. I started to share the product fairly quickly, immediately started to get a lot of customers. Someone joined my team. I kind of didn't really know what I was doing at the time. And I was just having fun. I got to virtual franchise, and I went to a regional training up in Connecticut and started to understand how you could build a team. So I asked my sister to join. I asked some of my friends to join. And I was just having some fun with it. It wasn't until about a month and a half into the business I got a call from Ellie and Pammy, and I was really fairly close to making it to sales coordinator. And if I made it to sales coordinator, I was Ellie's fifth leg that would get her to national marketing director. And I got so excited about this idea that I could help. If my sister got to VF, I got to sales coordinator, Ellie got to national marketing director. And so it was the week between Christmas and New Year's. We went to work like nobody's business to lock up, and we got to sales coordinator right before the end of the year as my sister was hitting her 60-day window for her virtual franchise. And that's when I fell in love with the business, because the idea that we all worked as a team and no one could do it by themselves, right? Everyone needed everybody else. It was a total team effort. That totally lit me up. I worked in public relations for years before I was a personal trainer. And I didn't realize how much I missed working in teams of people until I was back in a team of people. So that's kind of, and then I went to conference, and then I saw the national marketing director's speeches, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to do what they're doing. And so then I went to work, and I feel like we did this hustle again this past March. I had really like a lot of volume, really good structure across the board, but I needed one more sales coordinator leg. So my team went to work in March to lock up the working legs, everything that we needed for that last sales coordinator leg. And it was the same thing all over again. We had amazing personal growth and just great camaraderie. And we made it happen. So I love the product. It's been a blessing to my family from a health perspective. We just generally feel better, but the business, I love that we get to choose the kind of people that we want to work with, that I'm constantly inspired by the people that are my sidelines, that are, just my teammates in general. I love everything about being a part of the team. So that's my story. I'm really excited. I think on the agenda, I'm the first national marketing director speech on Friday morning. So I'll look for all of your faces out there. I've been rehearsing. And then Ellie and a woman, Lacey Daunt, who many of you may know, she's on my team. She's made it to qualified national marketing director in 7 months. And she's going to be up there, and we're going to talk about how we did it. So we're going to have a good time at conference. So that's my story. And I thought I would jump in and just answer any questions, and then we can open up and see what else you guys want me to answer. Sound good? Nods? Yeah? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just read these and then answer them. At any point, did you feel like you were losing momentum? And how did you dig back in and get back on your game? What are some of the things that you focused on, even if it's just one day a week? Okay, so yeah, I did. And now I say this knowing that I did get to national marketing director pretty quickly, but there was one point after one of the conferences, I thought I was moving along a track. I thought we were going to get to Q, and then we just didn't. The volume kind of fell out. People started to slow down. I don't know if anybody knows this feeling. And I was like, why is everybody slowing down? Like, what's going on? What's going on with everybody? And I went to conference, and I was really feeling a little sorry for myself. Like, I don't know what my team's like. I don't know, my team's not moving. And I just kind of had a wake up call with myself. Like, well, what are you going to do about it? It was kind of my thought. And I've got this, I'm going to pull it down. This has been on my bulletin board, is the words, who do I need to become? And when I get frustrated with anybody else but myself, I look back up and say, who do I need to become? And I realized that, all I could do was get out there and keep talking to more people and be a role model to my team, right? You can't make anybody do anything they're not ready to do. So, and I know this is a coach, I know this is a wellness coach. So I just went back out and I started to talk to people. And so And I will say one of the things that I did that was really useful, this is a really practical tip, is I hit a point where I needed to create a new pool of prospects, right? I kind of run through my, immediate list of people that I thought would be interested in the business. And when I went to Q school, I had a realization this past August that I had lost a little of my belief in myself and what I was creating. And I kind of got my head around the idea that I am a CEO, I'm a businesswoman, I run my own business. And what I really needed to do was reach out to people with that hat on to say, I'm building a team of wellness professionals and I want to pick your brain. And so that's what I did. For 6 weeks, I made a list of people that I was only going to talk to about picking their brain about the business and having them give me referrals, introduce me to other people. And I reached out to, so I live in New York City. I've got a lot of friends who are, very successful women in business. And they are not necessarily looking for Juice Plus as a career. And as a result, I've never really talked to them that much about the business because wasn't something that I knew they personally might not be interested in it. But if you don't tell people how your business works, they don't know. So some of these people were my customers, and I never told them, kind of how my team building works. So I went around and every morning I got up, I reached out to 3 new people every single day for 6 weeks. And then I would reach back out to people that I had already reached out to, trying to set up either phone calls or coffees. I did a ton. We have the reservoir in New York City, tons of walks around the reservoir. So walks and talks with my friends. And I just asked for names, talked about the business. And it turned into a couple of things. One is it got me some leads. There were some people who I didn't think would be interested in the business who ended up joining my team. And because it was the indirect approach, and it just got me way more comfortable talking about the business. And so it was almost like practice with my friends of talking over and over again about the business and how I was building it and what I was looking for and who my dream teams were. And I really do believe in this whole idea of what you're putting out will come back at you. So, when I'm telling people every single day that I'm looking for smart, outgoing, positive focused women who like other people, who are naturally sharers, when you just keep saying that day after day after day, putting it out in the world, you're throwing that out into the universe, And I became an example for my team to go out there and talk and talk and talk. And the more comfortable I got talking about it, the more comfortable I got getting on 3-way calls to talk about it with other people, the more my team got more comfortable talking about it. We duplicate kind of everything that happens. Like parent, right? It's like our kids, you can tell your kids to do whatever you want. They do what they see you do. And so that was the same thing with our team. So I really feel like that was the beginning of some real momentum shift. That's when my teammate, Amy Yancey, met Lacey Dawn. We were in the middle of this really intense, reach out to people. And boom, that was a whole game changer for that whole side of the team. So that's my answer to that. How do you stay motivated with the no's? I think no's, it's interesting because no's are hard, I think, when they come from people that you really want it for, right? Or you're really excited about. I know one of the first no's that I got was from one of my really good friends. And I was so excited to hear about it. I thought, she's going to love this. This is going to be perfect. She's going to love this product. Her oldest son has ADD. He has a terrible diet. I was like, I cannot wait to tell her. Not only is she not interested, she called it a pyramid scheme. Like she gave me the 1, 2, like, right out of the bat. And I was so devastated. But as time goes on, I think you just realize the no's are just part of the process. And as time goes on, you realize that no's really often might mean not now. And if you don't take it personally, you're not offended by the no. It's amazing how many of those people come back around and are interested. I've got team members, you hear them all the time on the national marketing director stage, who left, some of my wine and wellnesses and thought she's lost her mind. She's lost her mind and she's crazy. And now they're on my team and they're like having more fun than anybody. So I guess I look at no's as not now's, and I look at every conversation as an opportunity to get better at having conversations. And I really have let go of the outcome. And that, you probably have heard this before, but if you can let go of what you want to happen and just stay in the moment and let the conversations happen, then you're not as emotionally tied to the yes or the no. I just left a wine and wellness with one of my dearest friends who's been on the product for years. I think she might sign up for the team. And she's been somebody I've been dying to have in the business, but I've just let her kind of be, and let her kind of move along this process with me. So I think, if you just love people where they are, and if people are critical, they don't know what they don't know, or it's their own stuff that they're dealing with. It really is not you talking about fruits and vegetables. It's really not you talking about fruits and vegetables. So it's just their stuff. What are my daily action steps? So it depends. I'm not somebody that stays totally married to a DMO, but I am extremely committed to working the business every day. And what I would say is I focus on the income generating activities. So I really do make sure I always have events on the calendar. So I had an event tonight. I've got a Healthy Living Revolution call on Tuesday, and I've got another wine and wellness at my house on Wednesday. And then we've got 2 more set up in May. So I come from a PR background. I always am looking for a reason to have a conversation. So I really do try to focus on, reaching out. I try to, people that are on my wish list for teammates, because that's where really my focus is now, is on building team. I just focus on being a good friend. I'm not always talking to them about Juice Plus. I just try to make sure I am doing the things where I'm interacting with new people, or I'm having conversations with people to invite them to something or to talk to them about something. So I make that my priority. And I start every Sunday night with just a list of who are my top, 15 people that I'm going to talk to that week. Everybody's got a different approach. There's some really good DMOs out there. Stacey Whitmer's got one of my favorites where she focuses on a different thing every day. I haven't found that just practically. I think I just haven't gotten into a groove yet where that works yet for me. Also because the team's grown so fast over the past 6 months, I think, that just hasn't been realistic for me. And a lot of my time now is on 3-way calls. So I'll just talk a little bit about 3-way calls. Our team is huge on 3-way calls. And I have to say, this is how I was brought up into the business. Through my first couple of months, Pammy and Ellie called me together almost every time. It was funny. It's even when they kind of stopped doing it together, I was like, I kind of missed them both calling me, but they didn't really need to call me together all the time anymore. But I loved the 3-way calls. And so I'm constantly getting prospects on the phone with Ellie, and people are constantly getting me on the phone with either prospects for the product or prospects for the business. So I'd say I have I probably have at least 1 or 2 3-way calls happening every day at this point. And so if you're not using 3-way calls, I would really encourage you to do that. There's something magical about 2 people talking to a third person. And so quickly, the way that we do those is, let's just say I was calling Ellie, and I tell Ellie, all right, so, my friend Heather, can you get on the phone with my friend Heather? She's an amazing mom. Her son has diabetes. She's like amazingly knowledgeable about this topic. She's always looking for stuff to help with her family's health. I'll give her some background, and then I will say, Ellie, this is my friend Heather. Heather, this is my friend Ellie. And Ellie will immediately say, oh my God, Heather, Tracey's told me so many things about you. I hear you're this amazing mom. Tell me about your son. What's going on with him? Like they know that we have a conversation, and then I mute myself out and I sit quietly while I let Ellie have the conversation. So they're really powerful. If you want to have more conversations about 3 ways, I would love to have conversations, but they're a super useful tool. It's probably a big part of my DMO now. Okay. What action steps for bringing on a new team member, setting proper expectations and launching them? This is a great question. And I'll give you like a little kind of sneak preview, because this is one of the things that we're going to be talking about in our training at conference. So I think this is key. One of the setting up your teammate is really key. And I think doing a 3-way call with we do a 3-way call with our upline and NMD as soon as we can. It's a great conversation to just engage the new teammate, have a conversation with them, try to see where their head's at, right? If Ellie and Pammy had told me how to get to national marketing director in the first week of the business, my head might have popped off. I wasn't ready to hear it, but I was open to, sharing a certain amount. So first is having a really good conversation with your NMD to try to see what somebody's looking for right now. And just, and I would say, you want to definitely paint the vision, but you want to be able to, everyone to know that you love them wherever they want to start in the business, right? So we have a video that we put together it's Ellie and Pammy and I. That's a very short video that's really low key, it talks about the first 2 promotions, that there's a $100 promotion if you get you and a couple of friends, and then there's a $250 promotion if you get, X many people on the product. And but the first step is to share what we have with people we love. So you're going to get a list together, you're going to get with your sponsor, and you're going to work together to for next steps. So that's the first thing. We send this video. We have several things at our disposal. We have a new rep liftoff that we do every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Our whole team does it. Anybody can jump on. So typically, if the person's ready to go, we get them on that new rep liftoff. And then our immediate next step, we are using these Healthy Living Revolution calls that Brian Rose will be walking through in more detail. Does everybody know about those? Yeah, because they were the 90-day game plan calls. We adjusted the text a little bit so that it sounded more like us. I think their tech that sounded like them. It didn't really sound like us completely, so we played with language a little bit. And we try to immediately get our teammates to schedule one of those or an in-person event, like right away. And then here's the key. We encourage all of if you sponsor someone, you need to sit with them and help them invite people. So the worst thing I think that can happen for a new teammate is to be left alone with their list. Because we all know if they go off with their list, we have no idea what they say to people. Sometimes you get very excited. And I know I did. I threw up Juice Plus information on people, gave them I'm a wellness coach, very excited about the science, all excited to tell everyone about the science. And people were like, get away from me. It's like way too much information. So to help people invite to whatever first event they're going to have, and help them get through those invitations, and then get them on a call to talk about why they said yes, getting them comfortable, showing them how we approach this business so that they're not scared. I think one of the things that new reps are often afraid of is that we might do something to jeopardize their relationship with their friend, right? And so we need to build some trust to show them that we're not going to do that. So getting together, showing them how to do it, getting them on a call, building a level of trust is key. And then it's just staying super close. We introduce everybody to the resources. Obviously, we help them get set up on their virtual office. We help them get their website. That stuff happens within like the first 72 hours of them signing up for the business. And then showing them where they can find things. So we use mission-driven model all the time. We have a team resources Facebook page that we post things for our group on. So we start to show them where they can find things, but we stay very close to them in those very early stages to help them find things. It's like a baby. This is what we'll describe at the conference. You wouldn't hand a baby a bottle and walk away, or a set of keys to a car. You're going to walk them through it, help them get educated. But then as quickly as possible, I'm also trying to help them. The minute people show that they can find things themselves, I'm a big fatherer instead of a mother. I want people to be able to do this on their own and quickly be able to do it for somebody else. So I want to make sure I'm there for the things that I'm needed for. I don't want to make myself integral to every process. So those are our kind of immediate steps, but we'll walk you through those steps. But immediately getting them on the phone with somebody and helping them invite to an event, getting an event on the calendar. I think, when people say, well, let me just talk to people and see how it goes, that's important to have another conversation to figure out what's going on with them, what's holding them back from at least telling a couple of people and getting their HLP, right? Okay. Could you please share some tips on how to approach someone about the business and the product? Yeah. So I think I guess there's a couple of things. One is I've gotten better at just having conversations and waiting for an opportunity to arise. Not being afraid to talk about what I do, but not always feeling like I've got to expedite the conversation to a conversation about the business or the product. And so, being, having a social media presence where you're talking about the business, it's weaved into your life. If you've got somebody that's a friend, they're going to eventually, see what's going on. So you don't have to, I don't bring it all up all at once, but if there's a natural opening, I take it. So it is getting better at listening for what the opportunity might be. There was a girl today, I went and did cryotherapy. I don't know if anyone's done cryotherapy. It's like a freezing therapy. And the girl that was doing it was this adorable girl. She's a runner. So we're having a whole conversation about what races she was training for and what races I had run. And the Boston Marathon was today. And we're like, those poor people. We were having a great conversation. And I said, I just said, this is how I lead in. I have no idea if you'd be interested. I have no idea. I have no idea if you'd be interested, but we're having this wellness event on Wednesday night at my place. And it just may be something that you might find interesting. If I sent you an invite, would you be interested in coming? And she said, sure. So waiting, just see if there's an opportunity, take it, but don't feel like you need to force it. Because if you force it, it'll feel forced. You can also just say to people, listen, I know and again, I have no idea if this would be interesting to you, but you're somebody I really admire, and I have this business, and I would just love to talk to you about it. Can I just take you out to coffee and talk about it? So I think I have no idea if you'd be interested, or I have no idea if this would be something for you, is really important, because saying that you think is perfect for somebody tends to, one, it might be perfect for them, but it can create two responses. One is people will get nervous that they have to like it because they don't want to let you down, or they'll get defensive because you've assumed that they want or like something and you don't know them. So saying I have no idea is usually my best rule of thumb. Okay, let's see. how do you keep the pipeline full of new team partners, and what does your launch look like? Yeah. So so I'll go back. I think I kind of answered this a little bit before. I am constantly looking. It was interesting because I felt like right after I made national marketing director, because that month was so focused on helping my team build, I thought I have to go out and start talking to people again. Like I felt like my pipeline had dwindled a little bit to a trickle during that month because I just had to refocus. I find the best way to keep a pipeline full is to get out there and talk to people. So I really try. I mean, I've got 3 kids. So for me, just making sure I'm, going to coffees, catching up with friends, like not letting my whole life be only the Juice Plus, right? Which it can easily become. And I try to go, so I am an exercise instructor. I try to go to other people's classes at other facilities. And I really try to network with my other trainers. So that for me is a great network. And so I'm just constantly out trying to do new things. I just am joining a women's networking group, which I think is going to be really exciting. One of the my son went to a new high school this year, and one of the moms there, we talked about Juice Plus on a subway ride home one day because her kids are really into nutrition. And I think my son had said, well, they should talk to my mom. And she's a banker, and it's called the W Source. I don't think they have it up to you, but you can take a look at it, the W Source. And it's all women networking. So I'm going to start that. That's going to be an opportunity for me to network with other women. So I'm just constantly out there looking. I think once I embraced the idea that I was a business owner and I was building something really big, something really shifted for me and how I approached networking and reaching out to other people. So if you don't feel that way about yourself, I would encourage you to just kind of question why you don't feel that way about yourself, because we all have this opportunity to build something amazing. Or even if it's our own kind of small cottage industry that we're doing ourselves, it's still ours and we're still business owners. So we have a lot to add. And the skills that we've learned in this business are really valuable to other people. Okay, what are your favorite events to host or attend that incorporate Juice Plus? My favorites are wine and wellness. I find wine is just a great thing to add into anything. But I like to have people into my home. I love having people over. I love a full house. And so I love those. And I think they're just a nice way to talk to people in a really intimate setting. We usually go around the room if it's not too big and ask people what one thing is that they would like to improve about their health. And oftentimes that's a lot of women in that room, and it can really turn into a really powerful and positive discussion about women and health. So I find those to be really powerful. I do I do sweat and smoothies. So because I'm a trainer, so I'll teach an exercise class and then we'll do smoothies and a health talk after that. Those are probably the 2 that I do most that are live events. In New York City, people aren't as keen on the salad bar parties because then they're going to have to carry their jars. And there's like a salad place like every couple of blocks. So they're just not as practical here, but I've done them with my team in Rhode Island. I love those. And I'm a big fan of Zoom events. So we'll do the One Simple Change Zoom calls a lot. We do the Healthy Living Revolution calls a lot. And we'll do shred calls a lot. I am big on the shred. I'll say the last thing that, and Heather is a member of this, so she knows, one of the things I think our team has been really good at is our customer care page. Ours is called the Clean Plate Club. And it is just a vibrant community. So our whole team really adds stuff. We make it probably 90% not Juice Plus. So when we're all doing a shred, even when we're doing a shred, we try not to use the words Juice Plus a lot on the customer page. And as a result, I think everybody on the page, including customers feel empowered to share information. So content is coming like all over the place. And that is an opportunity to give like a communal group hug over all of our customers. And that's when people have really loved being a part of our community and kind of see how much fun we're having. And that's been a great way to bring people, raving fans into the business. So that's the end of the questions. If anybody has any extras for me, are we over time and we got to go?
I think we could probably take one question. If anybody has one more question. Well, I just want to say this has been so great. I've taken so many notes, and this is recorded, so that's a good thing. But you just shared so many great principles with us, and you really went fast. It was 2.5 years, so what you shared with us is really, really important stuff. So hopefully everybody took a lot of great notes. And any last question before we sign off, guys?
No, I just want to say, Tracey, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your heart and your experience. It's really appreciated.